This is Exoprimal, a game where you and your friends are putting on supercharged futuristic mechs to fight off thousands and thousands of dinosaurs. And despite how cool this might actually look, something about Exoprimal feels incredibly unfinished, unpolished, unbalanced. And I want to talk about that because I've been given early access to the upcoming beta, and after playing nearly 8 hours of the game itself, I'm mostly just wondering what really is the point. But let's talk about that. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, to start things off, let's talk about how Exoprimal plays, because I do feel like the gameplay trailers they've been releasing have been incredibly bad. The marketing in general has not done a great job of explaining how this game really works. Essentially, this is Left 4 Dead with dinosaurs. You and your buddies in a 5-man squad are attempting to accomplish a series of randomized objectives. If you're in a city, you may have a quest called Dinosaur Cull, which essentially means fighting off about 1,000 tiny raptors. Once that's complete, you may have to try and defend a scientist who's taking a bunch of soil samples while these giant dinos are raining down from the sky. Sometimes there's survival quests where you just need to try and live while they bombard you with millions of these little tiny poison spitters, or even ones where it'll summon a big old T-Rex and you have to try and take it down. The major twist to Exoprimal is the fact that you're going against an enemy team. Sometimes when you're running around, you'll see a little bit of like a ghostly silhouette of the enemy team. Now, what's weird is that they don't exist in the same map as you. They are in the same city, but in a parallel dimension, meaning that you don't really fight directly against them. The goal is to complete the 5 series of quests before they do, and thus claim victory. But the weirdness of this game is definitely just the fact that it feels like it's trying so much. Like, even these exosuits themselves have different specialty classes. Whenever you're fighting, you can easily switch between the different styles of mech. There are 10 in the beta itself, and they're very, very easy to just do. You click the touchpad, or in some cases press the select button, and then just choose the different mech, and you'll go into it. Now, these mech suits come in 3 separate classes. There's Assault, which is basically your big damage dealer. There's Tanks, which of course draw in enemy attacks and can do really cool stuff like put up these big laser shields that can deflect, hundreds of these little guys at once. And then the support characters, which can heal people, buff people, and also do stuff like electrocute enemies. Now, I do think that everybody in this game, each of these little mechs, has a lot of fun to them. Of course, there's different versions of these classes as well. So if you're playing Assault, there's a character that's more sniper focused and can freeze enemies. There's a big, huge healer that's able to do basically magic and try and do all sorts of very helpful buffs, including creating tiny black holes. There's different styles of tank, like a guy with a minigun who can put down these little damage absorption bubbles. I do think the idea of such a wide range of characters is interesting, but the downside of this is I do think that DPS wins above all else. Damage dealers are the most crucial aspect of every single team, because this is a race. You need to finish your 5 quests before anybody else. So since everybody is constantly just switching between mechs, running to the next destination, trying to kill that next big dinosaur, it does feel like if people are not constantly at their limits, you are going to lose. Now, I do want to talk about definitely the most annoying aspect of this game. Like, a part of this game I legitimately hate, and I hope the developers see this so they can maybe do something about it. So, the reason you are in these parallel dimension, weird shooter dino simulation things is because of a gigantic supercomputer called Leviathan. It's really just this weird technological guy, right? He's a godlike supercomputer. Well, whenever you get behind in a particular match, he will just do this very annoying voice where he keeps going, "You're completing objectives slower than the enemy team." Oh my God, you hear that so much because since there's 5 quests in every single map, if you get a little bit behind at the start, there can be a snowball effect where if somebody is 10 seconds ahead of you in the first objective, sometimes they're going to be 20, 30, 40 seconds ahead by the time you hit that final task. And it got so aggravating hearing Leviathan constantly say, "You're completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Oh, you're so slow. You need to catch..." After a bit, I just wanted to mute the voiceover, but I didn't find the option because I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to call out enemies. I'm trying to focus on the game. It's something about it feels beyond just like, I don't mind when a game says you suck because, it's goofy and fun. Here, it genuinely sounds so condescending, and I hate that tone. But there is an interesting added bit to this, which is the catch-up mechanics. So while you are playing through these levels, you do get these random abilities dropped down. If you start to extremely get behind, Leviathan will say, "All right, I've decided to create a bonus beast." Basically, a weird yellow dinosaur will pop up, and when you kill that, everything that you kill for the next 20 seconds gets dropped on the enemy map in their dimension. So they have to fight a bunch more dinosaurs, especially if you're using your big special abilities like grenade launchers and ultimate attacks. It will actually bombard them and give you a chance to catch up at least a little bit. There are also dominators. If you get super deep in the weeds, you basically get this ability to go and take over and become a dinosaur directly, and then go into the enemy dimension and eat them up. So here I am as a T-Rex, completely full wiping the enemy team in an objective where we're trying to move this little minecart thing. It's like a Overwatch style objective. Moments like this are certainly fun, but additionally, I do feel like while I was playing this, it just felt like some of the mechs are so much more feature complete than others. Some of these suits feel so much more optimized, so much better designed, so much better fleshed out that they can actually fight back. And some of them feel so unfinished. I mean, they feel like they lack the skills. Like even the sniper guy, as cool as I think he is, you can't really use this at all except against big bosses. There's also like a samurai tank who's able to go up and deflect bullets and stuff. This guy feels cool and he looks neat, but why play a fake damage dealer, basically? I really think the melee DPS Zephyr is incredibly fun while you're chopping people up, but again, with a complete lack of ranged attacks, he feels like somebody that just isn't really going to be able to compete against anything except the big bosses. If you deal enough damage, you can do some very cool, very flashy super attacks, but something about this game, even when you are winning, does not feel thrilling. It doesn't feel as exciting as, the concept of using super mechs against dinosaurs. We do know for a fact that there is going to be a lot of microtransactions in this game. In the trailer, they have shown a bunch of stuff about, hey, there's going to be a battle pass, there's going to be cosmetic microtransactions, it looks like. Even in this weird beta, the store itself is locked off, but I kept getting some sort of weird currency called Bitcoin, which they straight up says will be used to buy upgrades and stuff. I'm not sure how much the mechs are going to level. This slice of the game itself seems extremely limited. I understand the gameplay loop, I understand the dinosaurs, I understand the AI, but even from this 8-hour taste of the game itself, I am glad this game is coming to Xbox Game Pass, because even with this bit of it, I don't think it's probably worth the $60 they're going to try and sell it for. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you guys think about Exoprimal? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and please keep dreaming.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.